Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Adelina and I make videos about living in my tiny house on wheels and living a more intentional life. We're not quite done with winter here in Canada, at least in Alberta, but we're getting really close. I was thinking about all the things about my tiny house that make it feel especially cozy to me. And I thought I would share those things because I think they apply to any house. They're the things that make the biggest difference for me in my tiny house, especially on a really long Canadian winter when it gets dark really early and you are in the middle of a pandemic and you spend an awful lot of time at home. The first thing I want to talk about is where I'm sitting right now, my little sofa. This is my little Sophie and this is my little sofa. Anyways, one of the things that I spent a long time looking for the tiny house was a sofa that would fit in this space. Because it's such a small space and there is a closet there, and if I were to put the sofa this way, there is the wheel well there. I knew I had a very limited space to work with and I wanted something that was super comfortable. Here's the thing. Canadian winters are long, Canadian winters are cold, and Canadian winters are dark. I've seen some tiny houses where it seems like the sofa, seating area, lounging area is kind of an afterthought. And I think it's really important to have a comfortable seating area in your tiny house. You want a space that you can stretch out on, maybe even nap on if you have a big enough space. Somewhere where you can curl up with your furry companion who really wants to bite me right now. She's in that kind of mood. Anyways, someplace where you can curl up, you can lounge, you can relax, because too often I see tiny houses where they've built in a storage space that also doubles as a sofa, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you see really thin cushions on it or just loose cushions, and it doesn't look very comfortable. I've also seen some that are quite high, so when you're sitting, your feet are kind of dangling. I really wanted someplace comfortable where I could curl up and I could read, I could watch TV, and I could just lounge. I think it's also really important to have a place for your guests to sit. You might not have a lot of people over at one time, but you're likely going to have some people over, and you really want a comfortable place for them to sit where you're not actually touching shoulders, unless it's one of your snuggle buddies, and then you might want to touch shoulders. But in general, if it's family or friends, you want to have some space in between them, so you need a sofa or a couch big enough for that. This piece here is from Pier 1 and it is an oversized love seat. So it's bigger than your standard love seat. It's definitely smaller than a standard sofa. I cannot lay on it and have a nap with my feet stretched out. It's perfect for two people because I can sit here, somebody can sit over there, and we can talk at a comfortable distance without it being weird. Also, I have an ottoman right here, so I can have some place for my feet. You need a comfortable, cozy spot to sit and curl up and lounge and maybe even nap in your tiny house, especially in 2020 when we were all locked down and certainly spending a lot of time at home, and it was a long, cold winter. This space was just one of my favorite spaces. It will always be one of my favorite spaces. It's where I like to film videos, and it's just where I like to curl up with my kitty cat when she's not in the mood to bite me and relax. To go along with that first point, if you're going to have a TV in your tiny house, make sure you have it at an angle that you can see it and you can see it comfortably. Don't have it so far up that you're like this to watch. Make sure that, again, you're arranging your seating area so that you and your snuggle buddy can curl up and watch a movie and be comfortable. And I think that is where having a wall-mounted TV on a swivel is really useful. I didn't put mine on a swivel, and I do kind of regret that, and I may change the mount to a swivel mount. I actually didn't bring my old TV for my townhouse when I came here, and the TV that I bought isn't a whole lot bigger. It is bigger, but not a whole lot. But what it is a smart TV, which is so nice because then I didn't have to have an Apple TV or a DVD player or any device hooked to it. I can connect it to my smartphone and watch anything that I have on there. And I can also, if I want to, make it a monitor if I'm sitting here working on my laptop. Having a TV, especially the one that's mounted on a wall at the perfect height, just makes this that much more of a cozy space to spend time in. Another thing that I really love and that I think makes my tiny house really cozy is my wall-mounted electric fireplace / heater. When I just have the fire on, it just gives such a nice atmosphere to this space, and it's also a heater. So in the winter, when I didn't want to heat up the whole house because I like to sleep with a cold bedroom, I could just turn that heater on a little bit to have just my living room nice and cozy while I was watching the movie. And it's wall mounted, so it doesn't take up any space, and it is probably one of my favorite things that I bought for my tiny house. I seem to be talking about my living room area primarily, but I guess that's because I spend so much time here. I mean, it's a tiny house. There's only 4 areas to spend a lot of time in: your living room, your kitchen, my office space, and the bedroom. The living room is the lounging, relaxing space primarily. And so I really love this space. And one of the things that I love is the string of fairy lights that I have on the edge of my loft. They're perfect because when I have those on and I have my fireplace on at night, it's so cozy in here. It just feels, I don't know, magical, to be honest with you. I think that that's a really important thing to have in your tiny house, in any space, is ambient light. And that then goes along with this light that's behind me. I want a little bit of extra light in the evenings when it's dark outside, but I don't want to turn the overhead light on because that's just too bright. It's got one of those old-fashioned style Edison bulbs in it, so it gives a really pretty amber light. Also, the 2 lights that I made for either side of my bed in my bedroom are awesome because, again, they provide just a little bit of soft light at night if I'm watching TV or I'm reading and I don't want my overhead light on. They are the perfect source, and I think that that's the key when you're in any space, is to have sources of light that are indirect and that are softer and that make your space feel really cozy and welcoming. Surprisingly, number 5 does not fit into the living room area. It is my mattress. I bought a brand new mattress when I moved into my tiny house. It's a Bloom mattress from Sleep Country. It comes in one of those, it's rolled up in a box. This memory foam mattress is heaven. I had no idea what I was missing until I got it. I had a mattress that had a memory foam topper on it, but it was nothing like this. So when I am curled up in bed, and usually Sophie's curled up beside me and I'm reading or I'm watching TV, it's so comfortable. I used to have issues with back problems on my old mattresses. This is just the best mattress I've ever had. It does make getting up in the morning a little tough. You definitely want to lie there for a while and just, relax instead of getting up and starting your day. But it's worth it being hard to get up in the morning. One of the things that actually makes this house cozy is my kitty cat here, because whenever I sit here or lay down on my bed, she's definitely there to snuggle up beside me, and there's nothing cozier than that. Those are just 5 of the things that I have in my tiny house that I really love, but I'm sure that there are lots of others, and I would love to know what yours are. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on Wednesday for another video.